Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Coach Andres, and thank you for tuning in, ladies. We're going to talk about a very cool topic, and it has to do with one of my favorite quotes in coaching. And I have so many scenarios where I'm talking to my clients about this topic, and I always remind all of them about this quote. And I will share it with you in a minute, but we're going to talk about, we'll get to that. But we're going to talk about, you want him to prioritize you, but he's not, right? You want him to prioritize you, but he's not doing that for some reason. We're going to talk about 3 specific things to do in that situation, all right? And I'm going to share that quote. It's priceless. It's so powerful and it's so truthful about don't overthink it. And I notice so many times the women I talk to like to overthink everything, event things in their head that don't even exist in the relationship because they get so caught up emotionally. That's where I come in. I want to make sure I respect and understand your emotions, bring it to a more of a logical place, coordinate the best way for you to make the healthiest choices in your relationship. That's why I'm here to coach you all. So, that being said, let's check out the first one. You want him to prioritize you. Okay. Well, that means you need to decide on what's your non-negotiables. Right away. What's your non-negotiables? Because otherwise, he's going to take advantage of you. All right. And I always say, if he shows you what he's doing in the first month, that's basically who he's going to be in the relationship. So non-negotiables would be, like I mentioned before in another video, if he keeps on postponing the date or keeps on running late or keeps on flaking in the beginning, but you still have this bond over the phone. Over the phone, he's great. Over the phone, the texting, the video call, phone call, amazing. But he keeps on postponing the date. You have to speak up on that. That's a non-negotiable because you realize he's wasting your time. And if he continues doing that for the first month, then you know that's pretty much who he is. That's who he's going to be in the relationship. And that's something maybe you just kind of feel like you're getting your hopes up. And that's something I always tell my clients. I'm here to make sure I tell you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. So I want to remove that false hope and be practical about what's in front of us. Staying present, being logical about what's best for us. And what are your goals in the relationship world? Decide on your non-negotiables. Number 2. But before we go to number 2, check out coachingwithundress.com. Let's book a session and make sure you are tracked on to what you want to do in your relationship world in the best way. I'm here to coach you any way you need, email, Zoom, or phone. And to make sure you know that my door is always open. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to control your dating world. I'm here to coach your decisions. Find out what it is important to you. Now, I always tell every woman I talk to about how you're going to come to me with a relationship problem. I'm going to promise you personal success because I want to redirect your attention from the relationship into yourself. Understanding more self-development for yourself, more self-love for yourself, more self-awareness for yourself will easily give you better choices in the dating world. Let's break those habits. If you want something new, it requires different actions. You want different results, it requires different actions. Well, if you're going to talk about your non-negotiables, that means you have to establish your standards, establish your values, establish your morals. Otherwise, he's not going to prioritize it. If you keep on dating to his pace, you keep on dating in his world under his rules, he's going to take you through this roller coaster that's just going to be, get me off this, Coach Andres. I've heard many women tell me about this. And I was like, well, it's because you didn't establish your non-negotiables. You didn't establish your standards of what kind of woman you are or what you're looking for. And you're only taking what you can get. And that leads me to my favorite quote. I'm scared to lose a man who's not giving me what I want. Wow. I'm scared to lose a man who's not giving me what I want. And I say this to, unfortunately, a number of my clients because they're trying to convince themselves with their egos or pride about he can change. No, he's not. There's plenty of men out there that you need to get over your ego. You need to get over your pride. You need to get out of your own way because you're afraid to lose a man who's not giving you what you want. He's showing you in that first month who he is. If he's not prioritizing you, he's not respecting your negotiable ways of living, he's not respecting your standards and values and morals, and you're still trying to believe that there's something there, that's infatuation, ladies. That's immature. That's not a healthy relationship. I'm scared to lose a man who's not giving me what I want. Don't be scared. Let's see where you're at. I just had this client this week telling me how she's always feels like she's the pedestal or the step before someone else She's the one that leads to the next relationship that becomes the one that he marries. That she's the stepping stone, right? She's the stepping stone into who he's going to date next. And I thought about that. And I was like, you got a great heart. You have great parents, great childhood, great work. You're an attractive woman. Why do you think you are the stepping stone to his future wife? It's because you keep on attracting men who are willing to take that step because they're in a lower level. And what does that mean? How do you self-reflect on that? That means you need to raise your step up, and you need to step higher than what you are for yourself. You're still dating a certain level of men. You're still dating the men who still need to step up on you. You need to step up on yourself. You know what I mean? You need to be on your pedestal. And that way you attract a different version of men. Not necessarily better or smarter or all that, just a different version of men who are more available for new things. Not the same kind of guy who needs to go through a relationship with you and then realize they're ready to grow up. That means you need to grow up and stop attracting those kind of childish men or boys. So always think about that, about establishing your standards on that. It's a big thing for men to want to prioritize that in view, but if you don't do it, why would he? So number 3, but before we go into number 3, got to talk about my first product, How to Love a Man. Check it out, coachingwithundressed.com. It's going to blow you away. It's got great entertainment, great assignments, Q&A, quizzes, note-taking, everything you need to know. All right? Number 3. You want him to prioritize you, but he's not. All right, so this is the tough one, but this is where I come in. I always tell every client, I'm going to give you a little tough love. You either work with him in the sense that are reasonable things, or you move on. Simple as that. You work with him. If he's respecting your negotiations, if he's respecting your standards, but there's still something he's not prioritizing. So he feel like he is doing certain good things, but there are things that I'm not feeling prioritized. So you want to work with him. You want to communicate with him. You want to be able to talk with him, not at him. Right? You want to be productive with these conversations. You want to be constructive, not destructive. And if he still doesn't do that and still doesn't prioritize you, move on. There's someone else better. And that way you're starting to limit yourself. You're trying to settle on certain things that are not negotiable. All right? That being said, I just want to say thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate your support. I'm always here to help. Check out coachingwithundressed.com. I'll see you soon.